Hey, how's it going? So I'm under my truck and I had Dominic come by, and of course I had a dead battery, so we had to replace that. And then he did some diagnostics on it and said that it was the fuel pump, and that he wouldn't get under it and do it because he had to jack it up, and that was too dangerous for him. So no problem. I decided I'd do it myself. So I'm going at this like as methodical as I can, since I'm not a mechanic. And the first thing I'm going to do is replace my fuel filter, and I doubt that it's ever been changed. It's right there. And what I have to do that is you have to get these tools, these little, because they have quick release on them, quick release things, but the quick release only works if you have their tools. So the blue one's missing, and that's the one I'm going to try. So let me reach back here. Hang on a second. So it's this little thing right here, and it goes around the pipe or the fuel line and then slides into the end. I'll show you. And it releases these 3 pins or whatever, and it pulls it loose. So I got a bucket under here, and I'll get it all set up and continue the video, and we'll change out my fuel filter. Okay, so I'm going to actually do the other end first. Okay, let me show you how this goes. Just a second here. This actually is a clip that locks it in place. So it was in there like that. You pop that off, and then you spin that on there, and you pull it. And it's kind of like a PEX, if you've ever dealt with PEX, I think. But unfortunately, I think I'm going to have both hands, or else I didn't get the right size. So let me check it out, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, that was the right size. So this goes in, and you pull it real hard, but you have to have both hands. So I already loosened it, and the fuel started to trickle out. But I'm going to put that up there so it doesn't leak anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other end, but I do need both hands, so I'll get right back with you. Okay, I got them both off. That was quite a challenge, but what I want to do is try to pop this out without losing too much fuel. I want to see how dirty it is, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, so hang on. Okay, so I got it out, and I kind of, no, it's clear. So it doesn't look like it was that dirty. Alright, so I'm going to put the new one back in anyway, and I'm sure when Dominic did my tune-up that he changed this. It doesn't look that old, so I was wrong. It probably isn't that old, but so on to the next thing. That would be my fuel pump. So I went to changing the fuel filter wasn't the fix. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my fuel tank here, and I've taken all the fuel out of it. I'll show you some. I had to put it in buckets because I only had one 5-gallon tank, and I had almost a half a tank of gas. So what I'm going to do is I have to this bolt's loose, and this bolt's loose already. So what I have to do is go on the other side. Okay, I just came to the realization that that strap is hooked to this brace, which I knew, but if I take that off, it's just hooked to this brace on the other side, it doesn't like go over anything to hold it in. So this is the bolt I need to take out on both sides, and that's the one that my deepest socket won't go on. So back to Harbor Freight. Okay, well, it's another day, and I got this tool. It's actually for plumbing, and I can't get anything up in there. Actually, I can get that one, but I can't get this one because it's too long, and I'd have to buy a whole set of deep well sockets. The deep ones that I have now aren't deep enough. So I think I'll get impact ones if this doesn't work. So we'll see how this goes. No. Nope. Okay. Okay. So I got a 21 millimeter impact socket. And we'll see how that goes. Look at that. Right tool for the right job. Okay, got that one off, and now I have one more over here to take off, and then I'm going to go back on the other side and see how this thing, how it's mounted, so I know to like put something under it so it doesn't fall when I get them all out. But we'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, so as I'm loosening this, it's coming down on top of my jack here, and hopefully that'll keep it from falling. I'm going to take the other bolts, the nuts out on the other side. There's two of them on there, and lower it on down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I got those loose enough. I should be able to lower my jack. I might have to get the other side. Yep, that one's out. Oops, there we go. Okay. That one's out. So let's see where we're at now with lowering this. And here it comes. Okay, well, it came down. And fuel pump's out. Okay, with the help of some heavy-duty prayer and this little plastic thing, I was able to get this last hose off, which I couldn't get my hand up in to get off earlier. I'm off to Napa, right up the street, to get a new fuel pump. Okay, here's the old one, and here's the new one. Okay, it's going to be easier without the camera, so give me just a second. Okay, so it's in. Now what I got to do, I can't see over this beam here on the truck, so it's kind of hard for me to see if the holes are lined up correctly. Nope. Go that way. There we go. That even fits kind of snug. All right, so now what we do is
like I'm going to put it in first, so. Okay. Camera's all over the place. I'm going to screw in the screws real quick. Okay, after putting this in, and it was kind of weird because it lined up on these little nubs, and it shouldn't have because it needs holes. So I pulled it out again and looked, and what had happened, it looks like, because this is a 2003, so I'm sure a lot of people have done a lot of work on this, but the bolts that, or the screws or whatever it is that holds them in, is sheared off. And so whoever repaired it just turned it a little bit and put these self-tapping screws in there, these self-tapping bolts. And so I got all the holes to line up, and now I'm just going to put these back in. And so whenever I'd go to a gas station, if I just filled up, I was fine. But if I like topped it off, where you keep clicking the handle to get it real full, because I could get an extra 60 miles if I did that. Well, I noticed a couple of times that I had a big puddle of gas underneath my truck, and there's only 4 of these, and there's supposed to be 6. So I'm sure that that's probably where it leaks. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and try to put in find 2 more that match this and put those in too. So I'm going to go ahead and secure these down and then get on that. Right here is where I'm talking about. So that goes in there, and I don't know how tight it's going to be, so I'm going to try to tighten it down as good as I can. And then there's one over here and one right here that I need to redo, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything in, and now what I got to do, okay, I couldn't find, let me put it this way, the other bolts I had wouldn't screw through that, so, and I'm definitely not going to drill it. What I figure I'll do is, I got them real super tight. I mean, it's not going anywhere. Everything's hooked up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to seal it if I need to. I don't think I'm going to need to because it has a new O-ring in it. Everything's down pretty secure, so we'll see how it goes. If it does, hey, I know how to drop it and put it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and try to raise it, and yeah, this is this is how I've been working. So it's quite the small area, but I've been praying a lot, and it's going in. So okay, I'll definitely say getting it up there was a lot harder than taking it down. So what I have now, I got it up there, and I used a jack and a board on the other side so I could leverage it up. And then I moved my jack over towards the center, and man, jacked it up, and it just went right in place. But took about an hour to get to there because all the different things you have to try. But a lot of praying, I gotta tell you, a lot of praying. And as usual, the Lord comes through. Okay, I'm happy to say that it's in there, and I guess now all I have to do is I'm going to turn the key on and see if I can hear it pumping, and then after that I'll put the gas back in it, at least some of it, see if it starts. Be right back. Okay, so when I was putting the tank back up, there was some gas in it, so I'm gonna, I heard when I turned it on the first time, I heard a little bit. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Low fuel lights on, so that's cool. Just put some gas back in it. Listen to that thing run. Yeah. All right. That's the way I like it. Okay. One thing I don't think I showed you was how I got all the fuel out. I had almost a half a tank, and so what I did was I bought a siphon, and I thought once you got it going it would keep going, but no. I had to, here, I'll show you. Hang on. So every squeeze puts a little bit in there. So that's how I'm going to get it back in. Same way I got it back out, only turn the thing around. So see you in about an hour. Well, I'm happy to say that I got it running, and I've taken it for a test drive and it did just fine. It didn't go very far, but I'm back to where I was parked before, and got all the fuel back in it, so it's almost a half a tank. But I'll go get some more gas and see if it I'll try to top it off and see if it leaks anymore. I hope you liked the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.